And it is bourbonblog.com live Cigar Saturday. Welcome to our first Bourbon Blog Cigar Saturday of the new year of 2021. We're so glad to be back with you. I'm Tom Fisher. This is Maddie Rock joining us live from the world famous Sanja's there in New Jersey. And how's everything your way, Maddie?
I'm hanging in there, my brother. Everybody out there, if it sounds a little wacky, my audio is not so good. There's a Apple bug fix going on out there, so hope everybody hears me clearly. But yep, hope everybody had a good New Year. We're here at Sanja's, and who you hear right now is Oreo, Sanja's dog. So Oreo could make a cameo appearance at any time.
Oreo might be coming around, and I'm here, of course, at Bourbon Blog headquarters. It's
I'm good.
In the 30s tonight, enjoying a cigar here outside as we wait for our good friend Ernie Padilla, founder of Padilla Cigars, and he will be joining us here in just a few minutes. Now, you're smoking one of the cigars. Is that true right now? Or you're going to be showcasing some of his Padilla cigars.
Ernie should be on his way in. I just got a text in a couple of seconds, so we'll talk some stuff. So, Don, not surprisingly, has known Ernie for 20-something years as well.
Known him for a little while. I see Randy and Kevin. Hey, I see a lot of people joining. Tell us or tweet back to us or tell us below what you're sipping, smoking, or both tonight. And please take a moment while we have a lot of great people in here and just share this. Share this video right now. Wherever you share it, if you do share it, you get entered in to win some of that bourbon coffee from our friends at Janus Coffee Roasters. And some good news coming soon, Maddie. Shad and I have been working on this wonderful coffee with the that's been finished in Breckenridge bourbon barrels. So we'll be bringing a little news on that. I do see Ernie's about to come in. Maddie is having a little Manhattan Special. Is that right?
Cheers. You're with your adult drink on, and I'm going to be doing my my Manhattan Special. So we've done this before. Get a little bit of my coffee drink on. I can now hear you back perfectly as well. So
all right.
I'm waiting to fire cigar. So everybody out there before Ernie gets back on. So Sanj, as we know, loves to hoard cigars, and he has quite the collection, right, Oreo? So we have some really old Ernie stuff that I don't think Ernie knows that we have. So I'm going to have Ernie choose what I'm going to be smoking this evening. That should aggravate him because he probably doesn't.
And again, make sure that you subscribe to this Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook channel, and also bookmark this, bourbonblog.com/live, because we do this throughout the week. We do it every Saturday night for Cigar Saturday, but we do a lot of great interviews. We're going to have our friends from Kings County on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, talking about their bourbon. But I'm going to ask Ernie. Ernie, can you hear us? And give us a thumbs up if you're ready, Ernie. You ready for us? Okay, here comes Ernie. So without further ado, we're bringing on camera Ernie Padilla of Padilla Cigars. How's it going, Ernie?
How you doing? Here I am in a garage with a light.
There we go. Yes.
The fuck? Why can't I?
There he is. Great. Hey, I like the garage. Great backdrop. Where are you joining us from tonight, Ernie?
I'm from Burbank, California, in Hollywood Studio. No, I'm not in Burbank, California. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
You got the hat game going, bro. You know that makes me happy.
What's that?
Got the hat game going. That makes me happy, baby. But I got the more hair, though. So I went.
Oh, Jesus. Look at that. Wow. That's amazing. That's a lot of hair going on in that whole. Yeah. I'm eating Texas pizza. This is unbelievable. God.
So
Texas pizza. Very nice.
I told him you were having a pizza break. It was all right. Everyone's going to get their pizza on.
Is there a favorite Texas pizzeria that you go to?
This place is called New York Joe's. Oh,
not here, bro.
Keep in mind, I grew up in New Jersey. Okay, so
you know, you're talking about New York style. Come on.
Actually, I was on the phone with our buddy Phil, and he goes, "You're crazy." He says, "You're crazy. It's going to taste like ketchup. What are you doing? You're out of your mind. You're a lunatic." I said, I have to have a pizza. I don't know. I'm so curious. I've driven by this place. It's like, it's probably going to be horrible. Okay. I walk in, I wait, and I'm talking to Phil. I go, "Wow, look at this. It actually looks legit." It's not the best pizza in the world. Absolutely not. But oh my God, do they not know pizza here? So, look, great brisket. I've been eating a lot of great brisket, a lot of Tex-Mex stuff that I, see before. I know you had mentioned to me about New Jersey having good barbecue, and I go, get out of here.
Yeah. And that's like I said, when you come up here, we're going to go see Robert Cho together, who we had on the show. And Ernie, there's somebody who wants to do a little trash talking to you, standing right over here.
Hey, Sanj.
Tom, how are you? What's going on,
Good to
brother?
see you. Nice to see you,
Remember,
Sanj.
you're the guy who would never buy any of my cigars. Yeah, I remember you.
Hey, listen, I have ample stuff. Shit I got that you ain't got.
Good.
He wants me to. Now,
Hold on.
you're going to choose what I'm smoking tonight, Ernie. Check this out. This is
You don't have this, Ernie.
It's very nice, right? For you.
Hold on. The Miami.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I like it. Oh, the Dominus. That's right. Wow, what are you doing all this shit?
I think I'm going for the Double Maduro, Ern.
Oh, that's very nice. Can you hold that up a little bit more? I want to see something. Can you bring it up? I want to see something. To the guarantee label. And the warranty label.
Yeah, label.
Right here.
Ah, okay, got it. Oh, very nice.
Nice.
So I'm gonna let Ernie.
All sealed boxes. Maddie's gonna open it.
What am I smoking, Ernie?
Is that the 1932 there?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very nice cigar. What can I say? That one's one of the first we came out with.
And I have a lot more shit in my basement.
Really?
Old shit.
Where are you at again?
Oh, now you know how he's from New Jersey. He's like,
No, I'm
God,
just kidding. I'm
God,
just kidding. I'm
we
messing
got
with the
those
guy.
ski masks.
The secret stash of the Padilla cigar. So some of these you haven't seen for a while, Ernie,
Right?
right?
He said smoke that. All right, we're popping it open live. How old are these?
This is like 20 years old, 18, 19 years old. Brand new box. Hold on.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
10 years old.
There you go.
Oh.
It's
Wow.
the unboxing. So these are 19 years old. These have been. That's how.
No, those are about that version is got easily 10 years of age on it, 11, 12.
That one.
Hold on, it's 2021, so yeah, it's.
Yes, you're right. You're correct.
Mhm.
I have the other ones that was made by Pepin. It's downstairs.
Yeah, we had the 32s Peen stuff too. So he's got the Padilla goods, baby.
They're smoking well.
Yep. So we're gonna go fire. We're gonna go fire one of these up. So, Ernie, let the cigar and bourbon world know what you've been up to lately, brother.
Yes. Do tell us.
I brought some cigars too.
Oh, Ernie's got stuff.
Really? I can't believe I didn't grab it was like a prototype blend. I don't know why I'm sure.
Very
Is
nice.
the bourbon guy smoking?
Yeah. No, I am. I'm having a little. I'm having one of the acids, and I'm having some Peerless here. This is my pairing right now.
Is that any good, that Peerless?
It's wonderful. I'm having a single barrel rye whiskey. It's from Louisville, Kentucky. I do recommend it, especially when enjoying a good cigar. What do you like to sip on there, Ernie, when you're smoking a cigar?
Besides having a Coca-Cola right now,
I like it.
a friend of mine is very into bourbon. I'm, I guess, a novice, but I would get Colonel Taylor's.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Any of them. Let's see. I just bought this thing called Walking Stick. It was like, we sell to Specs Liquors, which is the largest liquor chain here in Texas.
Right.
And they're also the largest cigar retailer. And so, I've been in there a couple times, and guy's like, try this, you'll be surprised by it, whatever. It was okay. I didn't find it I've had some very good bourbon because of Jonathan Drew. Has been nice enough to share some crazy Pappy Van Winkles and all that stuff and some other stuff that I don't recall. But okay, so what's the closest to Blanton's? I know that's horrible to say, and I hate when people say that about cigars too.
You know, there's a lot of great bourbons, especially that's the original single barrel bourbon that was introduced in 1983. You know, I do love Blanton's. Blanton's is tougher to find. It is a little more expensive than it used to be, but it's always a real pleasure that it has some great barrel notes. You know, I as far as single barrels go, I really like the single barrels Peerless does, but there's so many great ones I like. I love the Blantons. I love what Buffalo Trace does. There it comes, not owned by Buffalo Trace, but it does come from Buffalo Trace properties.
I see that the bourbon world is very similar to the cigar world in that a lot of brands are made in the same facilities.
Yes, yes. A lot
Have
of.
you noticed that there's a profile then that you get from stuff coming out of Buffalo Trace or Willett or.
A lot of times it's that warehouse where the bourbon is aged, maybe of a similar recipe. That's what's often been said about the W.L. Weller, has a similar recipe and somewhat of a similar note as the Pappy's, because a lot of it comes from the same warehouse aged there at Buffalo Trace. But there are.
Say if you like Pappy,
I do, yeah.
Get a Weller.
That's what. Yeah, I think that's part of what's made Weller a lot more expensive and a lot tougher to find. There are some really wonderful bourbons that could be 15 years plus, like the Pappy's, that are a little easier to find, but they are getting rarer and rarer. And it seems like 10 years plus is now considered very old for a bourbon, whereas it used to not be all that old. We do all we can to find whiskeys and talk about whiskeys too that are easier to find, so that we can all know we can get some, especially when it comes to the guests we feature on here. But we love tasting extremely rare whiskeys. I tried a bourbon. Actually, it's distributed by the Sazerac family with Buffalo Trace in the U.S. It's called the Last Drop Distiller series back about a month ago. That was from 1980, and I got a very small sample of it, and it goes for $4,000 a bottle. They only made in the hundreds of bottles because it was so old. So we love trying rare stuff. And
how did it taste?
What's that?
Did it taste like a Gurkha? How did it taste?
Yeah, well, it was old. It's one of those that had been aged for over 20 years, and it had had some good notes, and it was pretty amazing. It really was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what's the best? I hate when people also say, "What's the best?" No. What are the top 2-3 bourbons that I should always have on hand?
It's tough. There's so many that I like. Okay, so the ones that I always like having on hand. I do really love the Peerless Rye, and the Peerless Bourbon. I do love the Peerless collections. I really enjoyed the Jeffersons. I'm a big fan of the Ocean because part of it's been aged in the back of a ship. I love that one.
That sounds a little bit.
It's really good. It's really nice.
Sounds like a bunch of dudes in a room. We're like, yo, what we gonna come up with? Donnie, get out there. Take off your MAGA hat. It's over. Stop and steal. And they're like, Chad, what you got? Like, shut up. I ain't got no. The ocean, motherfucker. I went to the ocean the other day. Let's go with that. It's the
movement of the barrel, but yes, it's always good to see brainstorming sessions happen. I agree that it can be.
Okay, all right.
I think that
I'm gonna come out with cigars aged on a boat.
We could do that. We could have the agitation of the rocking of the boat. Maybe it will do something to the tobacco as well. I'm sure it could.
I might sell to Michael Class.
Now, Ernie, I see the brand of that already called the Padilla. ... I'm on a motherfucking boat.
That works.
I like that.
Look, sold already. Ernie sold. He's like, I'm in.
It's seen the whole world, I like just doing, find something local too. I mean, I always tell people, find something local. It has a story. Wherever you're based, there's probably a craft distillery someplace 20 or 30 minutes away from you. So
Texas, I don't know.
some great craft distilleries in Texas. I'm a big fan of the Balcones. They're from Waco. That's one of them that I really enjoyed. The Balcones. The Garrison Brothers is also quite nice. I see a lot of people. Tell us down below your favorite. This is the thing. I'm seeing quite a few people drinking some whiskeys and beers. Tell us down below maybe your favorite craft distillery. And as you keep on watching us doing our thing here, make sure you like this and share this, and we'll make sure and enter you for a chance to win that coffee at the end of the night. But how you liking that cigar? That cigar's been aging, or not aging, it's been sitting there for a while.
And Ernie,
tell us about
one thing that's always about Ernie cigars is the consistency. And like I said, you're talking about a stick, you're looking at the ash in this, talking over a decade old. The flavors still coming off of this are amazing. Leathery, toasty. I mean, I love it. Like one of our mutual friends, Tom, you know him, Bill Smolowitz, who's probably on here now. He'll kill a man for some of the original 32. I think
Smolowitz.
I think he's actually killed 2 people already for real, and he's still on the run. But that gives you an idea.
Yeah, but he's such a nice guy that people are like, it's okay.
That's why you never expected he'd whack 2 people for it. There you go. Right, Smolowitz? I know you're listening.
Smolowitz has got no problem in the world.
A lot of good people popping in. I see Sean Williams popped in. Thanks, Sean, for watching. Mark, Irene, Craig, lots of great people that are tuning in on our first Cigar Saturday of the new year, and we do this every week on Saturday nights. Maddie and I do at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're talking about Padilla Cigars. And Eddie, I think we should explore the boat idea through the new year. But what new have you been working on? What else is going on?
I was so hungry. I ran out to get this pizza, which I shouldn't have, and I didn't grab one, which I want to light up now, which I might say, hey, can I run upstairs and grab one, which is the Padilla 88th anniversary, which is kind of a follow-up to the 1932 that he's smoking there, which is named after the year my father was born in a tobacco plantation in Cuba. That sounds like some marketing bullshit too, except it's true.
In a boat, though. Add in a boat, I'm telling you.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, let's not go crazy with the name. Let's just follow up with that and do it in a different format, which I wasn't sure about. But Abdel Fernandez, who blended it with, which I worked with for like, I don't know, over a decade ago, before he had all the cool hats. This is like a cheapo hat. I started wearing this. He's got like the cool hats down there in his ads. And it's really nice. That one, believe it or not, I hate when people say that. Believe it or not. But that one, the story on that one is kind of funky because I was working on 2 projects. One, the Padilla Poetica, beautiful band that was going to be printed in Holland. Even Cigar Aficionado showed the line art. It was I designed it with the lady who designed the Opus X band from Fuente, and everything was kind of ready. I was really working on the blend and the design, and then it was going to be printed in this specific printer in Holland called Vrydag. This does a tremendous job, prints the Opus X and many beautiful labels. And then, Abdel was going to do it. And then at the same time, I had this 88th anniversary concept too. I go, I just really wanted to now do these higher end, and I don't mean it just like price point, but really special cigars, because we do a lot of volume cigars. We do cigars in all kinds of different price points. So, while I was working on that, there was someone who ate a bat in China or something. And next thing you know, everybody's coughing and the whole world's upside down and the madness. And I'm like, what? It was just, I remember it was just coming. I mean, I remember sitting with a friend from Italy in January and was talking about him. He's a big cigar guy and everything. And then it just, it seemed like March was just crazy. And so I put that on hold. But before I did that, I made about 2,000 cigars. I had 1,000 sent during the middle of the pandemic. I wasn't sure if we're going to get there. I carefully, it was I was disinfecting I was like, and after a week, you're like, I don't give a damn, take me down, I just smoked the damn thing. and I've forgotten that there was another 1,000 sitting there that were the salesman samples. You know, a few sales reps to give out to some of the stores to see how they like it and blah blah blah. And I said, well, now's the time to bring them up and launch it. And so that I had 2 projects going on. The Poetica will come out soon. So these that we have on our website. That's I like when people transition to that.
Nice.
Also, my book will be coming out. But we did bring up only 1,000 cigars, which we had. Put them in 5-packs. I said, let's get them out there. Let's see what people think. The reaction's been very nice so far. People have received them, but it's very unique. It has a year of age. There's a lot of talk about this tobacco is 20 years aged, found under my grandmother's panties.
I think
Get me the fuck out of here. That's the same people in the marketing meeting. So that doesn't really. This is actually very, very rare that this happens. Extremely rare, because we're in the business of selling cigars. The tobacco already takes many years to age, you know. But I think at the most that any brand maybe give us cigars that's a production cigar is 3-6 months. You know, the rest is bullshit. Except if you happen to have a pandemic, which happened with the Padilla Miamis too. That was another one, which I make a small production down in Miami, in Little Havana. And they're like, Sandra runs that operation. She's Cuban descent, but she grew up in New Jersey, so she's got this accent. Ernie, what are we going to do? The city of Miami says we got to shut down. This is incredible. I got the cigars here. I go, I don't know, Sandra. Just hold on to them. Let's wait and see what happens. And the factory was shut down for a little bit, and these cigars were sitting in these aging rooms. Like, she really has a beautiful, nice, small, little cedar aging room. So they were just perfectly just sitting there for those had about, probably, over 6 months to 8 months of age on it. I got to look back and remember. And they were great. They were just, allowing a cigar in those conditions, and they were aging together as a wheel. I wonder if that did anything. I don't know. Just the aromas, the cedar, I don't know. It's very nice.
Excellent. And again, if anyone wants to check out and hopefully everybody does, the website, I'm putting it down here below. That's PadillaCigars.com. That's where you can find where to buy them. Can you buy them through that website?
Right.
Yeah, everything.
My camera's backwards.
There we go. You got it. That way.
So this is something kind of a little different that we've done that I don't think any cigar company has done. Do the bourbon companies sell direct? Do they do that? Do you have any brand?
We are seeing more and more during the pandemic that the laws are loosening up as such to where they can ship to certain states. The distilleries themselves within state. There's been a few other laws that have loosened up in recent months, and I think we'll be seeing more and more of that. Definitely, a lot of people wanting some sort of delivery service and ways to subscribe to a variety of services. So we do see more and more of that. I think we will. I think we'll see more laws loosen. I do believe.
Interesting.
I hope so. Yeah, wow. to put that in people's hands. More and more creative solutions. And again, wow, look at that. How's that? How you liking that, Matty?
Smoking like a champ. Ernie knows I've always tried to grab all of his old stuff, and like I said, they all smoke like this. Beautiful ash. I never have an issue with the draw. And like I said, we appreciate you, Ernie. Ernie's always.
Let me get that cigar, because I just feel like if I could light it up and just show you a little bit. Yeah. I think it's work. Hold on 1 second. German engineering with a American flag.
Yeah, you got the international backdrop. I like it.
They're all bringing people together.
Plant them with the German accent. I could pull it off.
Yeah, I'll bring my German dog in a second.
I think say, can't you see? But yeah. And this is fun having all the old stuff. Oh, there's Smallowitz. What do we got there, Smallowitz?
It says new stuff is good. So thanks, Smallowitz, for watching. Someone's saying they have a 5-pack getting delivered on Tuesday. I guess to the newest one. Can't wait. Chairman Lai, and then we went to Ernie's Bat Cave, aged anniversarios. Yes. So all kind of good stuff. Definitely, if you have any questions, and Mark likes the hat. If you have any questions for Ernie, ask them below. Keep on letting us know what you're trying tonight, whether it is in the cigar realm or the whiskey realm, and that way we can know what you're trying or whatever you may be tasting. Maddie's having the Manhattan Especial, right?
I had to kick it, New York City old school, because I'm not hopped up enough. I need an espresso in a soda form, right? But it really is the premier coffee soda. What year is it? I know it's old as hell. Hold on. 18 something. I think it's like 1892 or 1896, but it's been around forever. And like I said, you can't find it. Go to your Italian bodegas or your Italian specialty stores. Right. And over the years, they started making other stuff. They have the root beers and cherry lime. I'm a big fan of the old school espresso soda. Then after drinking a couple bottles of these, you can go chase cars and stuff. Pretty cool.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Good stuff. Looks like he's bringing something here.
Actually, this is pretty cool. I like
show
it.
us.
What do we got, Ernie?
So, cigar business, you get to meet a lot of interesting characters. And this thing comes with a base. This was made in Africa.
That's pretty dope.
And it was brought to me by Special Forces, who had a local guy make it there. I mean, this thing is like it's done with shoe polish and the whole thing. I just saw it on the ground. That's why I brought it up. But it's probably one of my favorite kind of cool things because, look, it's got our lion logo on it, and the shit's made in Africa. And it was brought back by some hard motherfuckers. So you got it all. You got it all. By the way, can I curse or am I going to be banned by some guy like, am I banned? Zuckerberger? Is he?
You're just fine. Yeah, you're fine. We haven't been canceled yet. We've been doing this since March.
Well, I was going to say.
It's been a year we've been doing this, Matty.
Yeah,
no.
man. And
I forgot to get my bourbon. I'm all over the place. But yeah, this is the one I was talking about. The
hold those sticks up. Yeah, hold the sticks up to the camera, Ernie.
This is a fucking. I put this thing on horizontal and I regret it. I have bought like the weirdest. Yeah, this is it. This is a very nice box press. This is not a cheap cigar. I don't think it's hyper expensive. They're about $10. Yeah, they're on our site. We only have a few.
Excellent.
But then I brought back one of the cheapest cigars we make, and one that we sell a ton of. And your buddy over there, Phil Smolowitz, you can't stop talking about it. And then other people are like, get out of here. You're going to tell me that Padilla, that retails that they sell over there for $2, that fucking, he says it's unbelievable. Short filler cigar. You won't believe this thing. It's full of flavor. And he's telling me this. I'm not going to lie. I haven't smoked a ton of them in a while. I remember getting into my typical thing where, I sell to the largest retailer in the world. We have a very close relationship. And at times they wish it wasn't so close. But I sell a shitload of cigars. And they're with them quite a bit. And so I have a brand that we make that I want to make, which is called Fumas. Everyday cigar, economical. And it's from the trimmings of the more premium stuff. And this Fumas thing that I don't understand what the hell he's talking about. I'm gonna send it to him. He's like, do you have any of them? I didn't think I had one actually. I didn't think it's like, cheap box, cheap whatever. But
when the box, he's gonna want all of them, bro.
Right, you're right. But when I did this thing, I'm kind of like talking to these people and this big retailer we work with. I'm getting this project out, and at the time I didn't like what was coming out. They were like, try this factory, and we literally, got into a big argument about it. I'm like, and someone's telling us like, what do you care? It's just a short filler cigar. What do you care? It's the cigar that most people are probably going to try first with my name on it because you're like, fuck it, it's a kick around cigar. So you have an opportunity at that one point to impress people, and right now it does fantastic. I'm really even amazed by it. But he's man, I'm so curious to smoke that cheap cigar. Look, I smoke everything like Phil. I love premium stuff, and I love this, and I love that. And then cigars you just want to walk the dog with, but you don't want like a bitter piece of shit, crappy, thing. I'm sure, like in bourbons, like the other day, I just wanted a decent bottle of bourbon. Nothing crazy, nothing whatever. That's really the key. The other stuff is easy, the Blantons and the this and that. It's talking to a guy like you. Now I understand, being on this side, that is, really, really into the bourbons, that's like, I get it. Everybody's heard of Pappy. Everybody's heard of Blantons. We'll try it, whatever. But tell me where the good shit is for the money. Because that's what you know. That's what you got.
You got it. That's the important thing. You got to keep on looking for ones that are delicious and that are also easy to find and a good value. I mean, I do always appreciate those ones.
Like that rabbit hole thing. Is that just marketing? Now they did a cigar. I look at it every time and I go, a Spirits Award. I'm like, oh, this shit looks like so much marketing.
The Rabbit Holes, it's a really nice bourbon, and they do a couple different ones. They do the High Gold and the Cave Hill bourbons. They're beautiful. They do a great rye, and the Derringer sherry finished, PX sherry finished cask is beautiful, and that diesel that cigar is quite nice that they do with diesel. It's very nice.
No, I'm not telling. It's not.
Yeah, it's worth trying. The whiskeys are really nice. They do a great job. They really do.
Yo,
what's on that pizza, dude?
Yeah, it looks delicious. It's making us hungry here.
Sorry. I know it's horrible. You want to see my German Shepherd looking at me like, what the hell?
Don't be. Better than be dangling food around me. I'm like,
yeah, right. This thing might get German on me. What is going on here? Get out of here.
Talk about a flip. Today I ate barbecue and he's eating it up. Here's the troublemaker, by the way, Oreo.
Oh man, that thing looks like oh my goodness.
That's Oreo. I love it. Very nice. Hey, Oreo.
He looks like a SEAL team member. Yeah. So he looks like that dog that went down on the raid. Yeah.
I knew that's why he had the dog. It was all cute and innocent. So now we know.
Get over here.
All
right, look at the camera, man.
All right. What's this dog's name?
This is Leia. She runs the whole operation, even though the other one is bigger. She's the boss. I don't understand that. The other one has no shame. You walk through the door, I'm like, yeah, you're not on the list. There's no barking. There's no whatever. It's really a pain sometimes because you gotta be careful. But her, she's like, hey, put him in his place. We gotta push him off. I was like, dude, what are you doing? It's like, so he was the first one too. I think he's like, what did you do? Why? You got married and now we got a second dog. We lived a life. We were single. Got the cigar company, dude. We were in Miami. We were living the thing. We're on boats. We're fishing. We're and now there's diapers. There's another German Shepherd. You're in a garage. You can't even drive this thing behind you now. This is where we are. This is where we are.
Well, happy 2021.
Yeah. No, it's all right. It's not bad. It's all right. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. We'll see. Hopefully 2021 we're off to better.
Well, we gotta believe so. We're all excited to enter the new year, and we're excited to have such a great audience. Thank all of you for joining in. We have a lot more to go here, and any questions you have for Ernie, ask them below. Tweet us back, and again, make sure you like this and share this for your chance to win tonight. We'll see who's liked and shared this video on Twitter and Facebook here towards the end, and you might just win one of those bags of Janus Coffee Roasters Bourbon Barrel Aged Coffee, and we'll have a lot more news. Shad and I will be sharing soon about the Bourbon Blog and Janus Coffee Roasters partnership. Ernie, as you look towards 2021 and just really going forward, I mean, obviously a lot more, from what I keep on hearing from the cigar industry, a lot more people still having some time to maybe they didn't have always to smoke at home, to get more into cigars. Any trends that you see for the upcoming year or the upcoming future in the world of cigars?
The bullshit is over. Game is on. No,
That's
That's the new. The game is on.
Game is on.
It's no. What I would say, the trend is really not so much about the cigar. I think it's how people are getting their cigars, purchasing their cigars, interacting with people like myself. I think before this pandemic, the problem was this thing was a circus. It was a complete disaster of a mess. It's great. So, I mean, my friend Jonathan Drew, the guy like lived in a freaking in a suitcase, many years and worked and hustled, and I respect all those guys who did that. And he really put on a tremendous show with the whole thing. But also, I think when you do that, at least that wasn't my thing. I couldn't sit there with one of these independent reps, and not that John did that. I think he reached a more celebrity-like status there, where it was just more like sign my underwear or something. But I was sitting there, oh yeah, the special is 3-1, sir, this and that. And occasionally you would have a moment to speak to the end consumer about your brand, hear from them, what they like, how they got started, all that. It was very hard. You had maybe a couple hours or an hour during an event with 20 guys, or even the multi-events. It was just like we were puppets for these big kind of companies. Like, hey, here you go. Oh, I handed you the cigar, so there you go. And then, it's like when, you get in trouble and you go to, vice principal's like, you just sit there. And I would always try to have fun, whether it's wearing a kilt to the Cigar Fest thing and everybody's in guayaberas or do whatever. I'm like, if I got to be here. And now I actually would love to go back. A lot of people in the industry are like, oh my God, what a bunch of deplorables. It's Cigar Fest, people. I love me, not in like the whole play, I don't get into that, but I think what it is, just like regular Joes, and they're like tailgate back there, and they're having a good time, and they're here to get a great deal of cigars and do that, and there's a few of those. But I think the biggest changes you'll see in cigars, and what your viewers are very fortunate, is because you're on now. I mean, actually, I want to hear the podcast now because I'm curious more and more about bourbon as I sit there and I feel like what a new consumer of cigars must feel like, because you just feel overwhelmed, right, with all these brands,
right?
And being able to kind of see maybe the personalities, someone's are funky, somewhere, whatever, in the cigar industry. Cigar industry is very, very small, and some of these, there's good retailers, bad, just like anything. Some are like, you see the ones who stuck around, great, whatever. I mean, but I think now it's mostly the interaction that we're doing here, the ability to speak directly to the end consumer. Who would have really, the technology was there. This just accelerated the connection.
Yes, it certainly has, and allows us to have something more personal, allows us to interact and get great groups of this, like this, interacting, asking questions to Ernie, and we appreciate the questions coming in. And definitely, as Ernie mentioned, our podcast on bourbon, those of you that are podcast fans, make sure that you are subscribed right here. Yes, anchor.fm/bourbon blog, or just look for Bourbon Blog on Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you subscribe to your podcast. But this will take you there. We upload all these audios. We'll do the same thing with Ernie tonight, in case you want to listen back to this. It's such a great pleasure to have Ernie Padilla joining us from, you're in Dallas, right? Dallas, you said.
DFW, the big, Fort Worth.
Yes, in Fort Worth, absolutely.
We're doing the warehouse is here, a warehouse we moved.
Let them know the best ways to find you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Padilla Cigars, Padilla Cigars, Padilla Cigars. I feel like when the lady calls,
yes,
for something, those people that call, it's like, is Padilla Cigars? What? May I speak to Patatuli? I'm like, Jesus, is it that hard? I mean, Padilla. I'm like,
Padilla, please. We'd like to see Padilla.
Padilla, we get Padilla. I've gotten all kinds. So yeah, Padilla. Yeah. Funky name there. So anyway, what else is going on over there? Where are you, the bourbon guy with the bow tie? I need to wear both.
I am. I'm right on the border of Indiana and Kentucky, is where I'm based.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah, I went to the Kentucky Derby one year. That was very cool.
How did you? How long ago was it? Do you remember?
It had to be like over 5. Yeah, it was like 6
5 or 6.
5 or 6 years ago now.
Yep.
Yeah, it was wow, what an event. That was impressive. I have a good friend in the horse business also, not, was not there because of that. I was there because of the cigar thing, which it was amazing to see the consumption of cigars there, the julep thing, the whole thing. I wish I would have had time to go see a distillery. But I did a dinner there with a retailer. I think Jay Paul there. I forgot his name.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's always a good. We're there every year at Derby. Of course, we missed. I'm there as a journalist covering it. I missed being there this year. They really only let like a couple of media outlets into it, like the big ones. So we always have a good time. We'll definitely look forward to having a good cigar and some mint juleps there next year. And really the Derby celebration is it's a whole couple months in Louisville. I mean, we have celebrations and parties that go on, and it's a good time.
Absolutely. They do it right in Kentucky.
So hopefully we start healing this year with all this, and all of us can get back on track, going out and doing what we do. I know, Tom, you're on the road most of the year, so people who don't tune in every Saturday, so obviously Tom's always on the road, preaching the knowledge of bourbon and doing taste pairings. But what you're able to do now, and Tom will break it down for you, is you can do pairings the way we're doing stuff right here, right now, and do that virtually. I'll let you talk about that a bit, Tom.
Yes, thanks, Matty. I do enjoy putting the Why Whiskey educational series on the road, but we're putting it in a virtual package together for you. bourbonblog.com/tastings is the place to go. We have an Eventbrite page. You can buy a ticket, come in for some whiskey education. Then if you want to dive in even deeper for your company, for your special small gathering, we've done large gatherings. We can send minis to you through our partners. We send little minis of whiskey and different.
I'll take a little mini. I'll take a little mini right now.
Yeah, I'll get you a mini. I'll get you a big one. We'll make sure we get you something.
If I had the right wife, I'd be like, get
So we will, yes. So we do that. So definitely take a look at our link, bourbonblog.com/tastings. And Matt, at some point, Matty and I, we're gonna put our heads together. We're gonna do some sort of a cigar experience. We got to get everybody together, especially all the wonderful people that join us each week for Cigar Saturday.
Oh, Cigar Saturday.
We'll see what we can put together there. And if you guys have questions or we're thinking about doing something, reach out to us. Obviously, Tom's the man with the plan when it comes to all the liquors, wines, spirits, and such. You've had me as your cigar dude on every Saturday. You've also had our guests like Ernie and other cigar guys that have been online. So reach out, ask questions. Obviously, we will get back to you, and we will do our best, because instead of being in groups of people and around each other, we are now all doing it virtually. So we got you all covered.
Yes, we do.
Amazing.
We're making it happen. A lot of compliments on the hat, Ernie. I've seen a lot of compliments.
This is interesting, because everybody, I tell you, having a few shotguns hanging off your car, whether it's a Honda Civic and a hat in Texas, is really no big deal. It's just like, it's just a guy with several shotguns. Right. That's what I kind of like about. You can't do that in New Jersey. I mean, there's a great place here. Maybe I'll do an Instagram live. I think it's called J. Peterson, in like fantastic old sign in downtown Fort Worth. And actually, a buddy of mine says you need to go down there, and that's the place to take care of your hats, because I've bought several hats while I've been down here. It's that alone, it's like a thing. That and my furry jacket and all that. I know I'm a little Western here, but the hat. People should wear more hats. It's my thing. Maybe I'll get in the hat business. I
like where you're going.
I see a lot of hipster hats.
Yeah.
I see a lot of fucking hipster hats. I'm gonna slap them off your freaking. Get off the fucking head. If you never even, these people probably never even seen a horse in their life. But what they took was the little, which I have one, Stetson makes, which I call the LBJ hat, which the guy at the store was like, "You want to live, son?" Not anything, but because it's been around way before LBJ wore them, which is a smaller brim, which is what the hipsters are kind of wearing and all that crap. And it was the cattle barons, the dudes who, as I've been here and I drove up to the Rockies, and you go through Amarillo, like it's flat, crazy land, and it gets hilly. That these huge cattle operations, but these guys would go into the stockyards here, and like we do in the tobacco business, there was also a market at some point. Yeah, like I'll take a Matty Rock number 24. It's a good cut. Yeah, Matty Rock. But they would wear like their suits and these little like versions of the hats, and now they're around. This is actually one of the cheapest hats I own. This is an Italian brand, Borsalino, which actually they know very well. So I got to know my hats, whatever. We're talking about hats, but for some reason, people, they mentioned, hey, you're wearing a hat. Yeah. By the way, wearing a hat here sometimes is as essential as sunglasses in Florida, because all kinds of shit just happens real quick in Texas. Like the weather here is like, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm gonna rain. I'm gonna hail. I'm gonna snow. I'm gonna maybe hail, snow, and tomorrow will be 75. That's the people who came here were just like, they were like, fuck it, we're going. I mean, and they stayed. So and in the summer when I was here, you get these like wah, 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 emergency crazy warnings. The Tarrant County, Denton County tornado warning advisory thing. I mean, dude, I've been through hurricanes, like living in Miami, like serious shit that comes at you and the whole thing. But tornadoes, you don't know where they're coming, and so they're like freaky. And these thunderstorms here, like, it's like I can't imagine being a damn cowboy out there on these plains with those thunderstorms rolling up on you, and it is just like a sea of land. And let's not even talk about the Comanches ready to get your ass. So it must have been interesting. So I wear a hat, not because I'm a cowboy, I have ridden horses. But.
No, you've got the hat, you've got the coat. I see the new cigar, the Buckaroo Padilla Lancero. I want that.
I think believe it or not, I got this belt, and it's actually not inexpensive. At least for me, it's $300. When I bought it here, like when I did an event in Texas, Texas Cigar Festival in Houston, and then I came up to Fort Worth. I was in the area, I was in downtown, and I just saw this belt, and I'm like, when the fuck am I ever gonna wear that belt? It's gonna be ridiculous wherever. Well, I wear this damn thing every damn day now. Okay. Yeah, it's got this inlay Indian on it, handmade, whatever. And now I'm just like, if I were to live in the middle of New York, I'd wear this thing. I just think it's
I like it.
I like kind of, I feel like a kid discovering the American West almost. And I recommend it. I see my friends from Miami, and they go to Aspen, and they fly in, and then they might take their little drive, or they even fly directly to Aspen, but they're missing the whole point of the steak, the whole meat and potatoes. Like see America, man. Go out there and you're like, motherfucker, this is America. This shit's like for real. Go see America. I want to be like, I should be out there doing public service announcements for America. I know Europeans are probably freaked out right now. I talked to them the other day. They're like, fuck, what is going on in America? It's fuck America, man. It's just shit happens. It'll be all right. It's get a little wild every once in a while.
I'm just thinking about a new cigar band. Little picture of Ernie on a horse with the hat, the buck. Yeah. No, I'm waiting for the Buckaroo from the Buckaroo.
What's interesting is that I grew up in New Jersey, a Princeton Ivy League town. I fathered that whole thing, and people talk a lot of crap about New Jersey. Like New Jersey, and like I ran into my old high school buddies, a ski bum over there in Colorado, right? Yeah, we are forever. It was like his dream, and Red Rocks, dude. He's doing it. It's great for him. The whole thing. He's like, I'm never gonna go back to dirty Jersey. I was like, dude, you had great times in dirty Jersey. It's a, New Jersey is just a unique state. People say whatever. I've traveled quite a bit, across the United States, but there's great things about New Jersey. There's great things about Texas. I think, like, we have to. I don't know about New Jersey and this and that, but I enjoy. That's one of the things I've enjoyed about the cigar industry, which I get to do as much, but just going out there and seeing, the different parts, the different flavors, the foods, being able to, like, New Orleans, amazing food. Like I love, it there. You mentioned, which I got to see that place. I mean, I'm like, what? Barbecue, and Annie does the Korean version too. I mean, it's like, that's amazing.
Yeah, man. kimchi smoke. Like I said, the first time, and my friend who passed is Chef Carl Ruiz, aka the Cuban from the Food Network. He goes, Matty, we're gonna go have barbecue, dude. I can't take off this.
Yeah,
week.
tell me about that guy. I used to follow him on Instagram, and he's the guy that used to like. I liked his attitude. He was sounding like I never met him. I really didn't know much about him, but then for some reason started following a little bit of his Instagram, where he was just like he did the I hate to say Bourdain kind of thing, right? But it was very much like an investigation of your basic kind of food culture.
Did you see where he said the best Cuban sandwich was from?
Where?
West New York, baby.
Well,
dude, he got a call. He got a call from Miami, Tampa. Everybody was. That's not the best Cuban sandwiches. Carl's like, I'm Cuban, I'm telling you, because it's the best Cuban sandwich.
Well,
all right.
It probably is. The Cuban sandwich is not Cuban. The Cuban sandwich is American. It was made in America. It was started in Tampa, Florida, and the Cuban sandwich started because Cuban cigar rollers in Tampa, late 1800s, huge, early 1900s, needed an easy, quick sandwich. Something to roll and just put in there. And so the Cuban sandwich is actually something that you find in the United States. The connection of Florida, Tampa specifically with Cuba is huge. Our George Washington in Cuba, Jose Marti was a poet and died fighting the Spanish. Would go to these factories to see these rollers, to see these cigar factory owners, because they were doing very well at that time, producing a lot of cigars, and to get money to have a little revolution. You need a little money, and so that is actually a little bit of the history of the Cuban sandwich, which is done in Miami also, and it depends, and we can get into all that. But the thing about America, like I have friends from Italy, Italians, is that we, in a way, all come here from somewhere, running from something, or brought here on thing, something Europeans have a tremendous history about, and not to get all that, but we transform the food. The food kind of, transitions. It's the same with cigars now in the new world, the new style cigars, I shouldn't say, because it was tobaccos from here, the new world. But the style that we do, the Maduros, stuff like that, it's not really was found in Cuba back then. There's some shit I don't like. I don't understand why you need a 70 ring gauge cigar and shit like that. But so be it. So.
And it's Ernie Padilla again. A lot of people just joining us. I see Padilla Cigars. We do have a Padilla cigar question from Sean Millard. Ask, what is the best full body Padilla cigar?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't like the term full body. I know it's like, just tell me. I really prefer, I don't even think about cigars so much like that. I like to think more of them full flavor. And sometimes the body, when they mean the body, they mean the strength, the sensation that the nicotine can give you, is one thing. But I think a lot of cigars are extremely badly balanced, especially in the boutique world, where they're just dropping the heroin there. I mean, blending a cigar is not rocket science. Blending a great cigar is definitely somewhat of an art. And to answer your question, we came out with the Padilla Dominus, which he has right there. That was one that was designed to be a little fuller and stuff like that. But I would say most of my cigars are really in more of a Cuban style, more medium body. Cuban from back in the day. Cuban cigars today are that. I mean, for so many reasons. Yeah, that's the old label. What a shame. Beautiful label. Won some awards in Holland for that. Printing and design. Yeah, I would say that. I would say, like this cigar right here. If you like cigars, you need to fucking smoke this cigar. I ain't messing with you. I'm serious. Forget that it's got my name on it. Forget all that shit and whatever. I can't even I hold this thing. But this cigar, which was crafted with Abdel, one of the main things he got on was he wanted a box press. I was like, I don't want to do another box press because this and that, because it's different when you box press a cigar, and it changes the flavor profile. We're going to blend this, and this, but we're going to make it box press. Well, we need to make it differently because we're going to compress it and leave ratio. But I said, okay, fine, and we did it round and we did it box press just to see, and yeah. It really stood out, and the wrapper on this is just it's unbelievable. If you know how much work it took to get these wrappers just so perfect. But when you smoke the cigar, it's just so rich, so well balanced that it's like, damn, that's just a well-made, rich cigar. It doesn't leave you wanting anything. I smoke cigars on an empty stomach with nothing, like in the morning, with no problem. I've smoked a lot of cigars, like Phil Smolowitz over there. We're both the same. We should be science experiments, you know. But once you get away from, like, God, now I'm going to talk about the thing behind me, which I spoke when I was talking to the Europeans behind me, and Porsche better start giving me something. But the Hellcat, or whatever the fuck that's called, the Dodge Hellcat, 1,000 horsepower. Well, if you took the Hellcat and you take my 350 horsepower 911 behind me to a track, that thing will be slipping and sliding, the nose and the weight and the whole thing all over the place. This thing will go into the corners faster, okay? It'll brake later, and it will accelerate out of there faster than that big, huge clunker. And that's what made Porsche win back in the day. They took a different approach, and now I'm talking cars as opposed to cigars, and maybe some people are like, what's that got to do? Because it's counterintuitive sometimes to just raise the body with a certain component in the cigar. And maybe I should mention how the different components in the cigar, because some of your viewers are maybe new to cigars and things like that, where you have the Coronas. Oh jeez, forget this camera. But I wish I had the book here with me. But Libra de Pie, Seco, Viso, and Ligeros up here. I mean, all these different parts of the plant, and they're primed at different stages. They all have a function to come together. This thing needs a transmission to do this, to do that with the engine, and well. And so, in many respects, when you blend, blending a strong cigar is easy. I could show my German Shepherd to do that in 5 seconds. Oh.
You remember the conversation you and I and John had, 10 years ago. And it's funny because it's exactly what Ernie's saying. You could get somebody who just throws a lot of Ligero in a cigar. And we compared him, if you remember, to the guy that said, I could eat the hottest wing. I'm like, right. It's the most flavor.
Yeah, if you're really doing yourself a disservice if you're just looking for that. I get it. After a while, you don't want a mild cigar. But when I did these other cigars, the Finest Hour, I wish I had one, and Phil smoked one today. He's right. The Connecticut. I was like, I get the samples, we bring them up, we tweak them, we talk about it. One was way too strong to be what a Connecticut was designed to be, which is, in that regard, yes, body matters, because maybe a more morning smoke for some people, early lunch, whatever, and just it just depends. You haven't smoked a cigar all day, you don't want something to drop you on your ass, and just kind of you enjoy the nuances of it. But definitely with a Cuban coffee or Italian espresso, that's what I like. And that's what I did. And I was like, okay, I'll smoke these. Let's see how these Connecticut's are, which I'm always. And I started smoking them. I let AJ just do his thing on that, honestly. I just like, let's. On another blend, I was like, whoa, this thing is. It was amazing. It was a Connecticut for cigar smokers because it was just really extreme in many ways. But this is supposed to be more refined. And I was like, man, and like Phil was saying today, I was like, that Connecticut was unbelievable. Was that Connecticut? It was like, yeah, that was a Connecticut. It was like, it had so much flavor. That Connecticut was better. I won't go into that. He's a big cigar guy. That Connecticut was amazing. And he was right on. Not because of my cigar, again, it's kind of weird to talk about it, but like Basil Hayden.
Yes.
I drink too much bourbon, but I do enjoy bourbon. It's a lighter, if you will.
Yeah, Very approachable. It's very nice.
Right, and it's still a very, very nice thing. And then Maduros, that's a very annoying thing, because there was a point in the cigar business where people did all kinds of shit. They were spray painting them in the backyard, all kinds of crap, and or heating up the wrapper and not. But when you really take your time to do Maduro in the fermentation pile, to really mess with this thing, get the color right. And it has a natural sweetness. It's not necessarily, people see dark, I guess they think it's going to be fuller. It just has a different flavor profile. I can make a Maduro, which is just very approachable. Phil and I both talk about one cigar. It's not even mine. It's actually made by a huge corporation. It's, I think, their best cigar, no matter what. The Henry Clay, the traditional fucking Henry Clay. This thing's been around forever. It's got a broadleaf wrapper. Some Dominican and Nicaragua. So simple. So simple. It's just like that simple pizza you get in New York, and you go somewhere else and you're like, but it's so damn simple. It's just flour, some cheese, and what the hell?
Same thing, right? Think about Hopper cigars, those little
oh yeah,
Connecticut broadleaf. The taste of it, you look at it, you be, and then you're like, this taste is dead on.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I would just say, speaking to people who are getting into cigars, that, don't be afraid to try different brands. Throw price point out the door. At least, and you'll be surprised, because there's different reasons why things cost different things. I don't know how it is in bourbon. You've got something that's got to be aged and it stays or whatever. But you'd be amazed some of the cigars you can get out there for some great prices, and they're even better than the more. And I'm sure it happens in all industries and things like that. But I would say don't be afraid to try Maduros. Don't be afraid to try our Padilla Finest Hour Oscuro. You're really going to enjoy it. It has flavor, but it's not the overpowering thing, or Vintage Reserve. There's some stuff out there. I personally think the Habano wrapper, to me, the classic Habano, that color profile, that is to me what is like every cigar company should try to get right, because for some reason the Europeans like my brand. I don't know. But what I mean by that is I talked to them, they've done shows with me, they've reached out to us, and Connecticut's don't work for them. That's not what they're looking for. They're used to smoking a lot of more Cuban cigars. They're getting frustrated about the quality really dropping it there, and they really find the profile in our stuff really, not saying it's like a Cuban cigar, but it has those ideals, if you will, in the blends, and that is, to me, the foundation of a brand is Habano. Then you get into Maduros, and #1 selling wrapper is Connecticut, which is fine, but it's really there's so many uninteresting Connecticut's too. It's somewhat hard, but ratings, I don't know. I could talk about other brands out there that I find interesting and stuff like that. I'd be here all day, and but I would say, forget the price point, forget what the clerk with the weird nose piercings, wearing all the weird cigar company cool guy T-shirts are trying to tell you in there. Forget the guy who smokes 20 million cigars a day. Just forget that guy. He's not in his, just start with a Connecticut for sure. Try to get a Connecticut with Nicaragua. Try to, see that in there. Also, just because the cigar says it's made in Nicaragua doesn't mean it's 100% Nicaraguan or Dominican or this and that. You got to understand that. It's just the country it's made. We do some cigars also in Honduras, which are primarily Nicaraguan. And, so
good point.
Yes.
Wrapper, filter, binder, because a lot of people will just see one thing and assume, remember, guys, if something's all of one origin, that's legitimately just a proto. And a lot of days are not puros from one country origin or single origin. So definitely that's a good thing that Ernie touched on. So remember, when you're looking, and if you're kind of new to it, remember, they could all be from different origins. wrapper binder filler. Something you want to look at. Ernie also touched on a super important thing that, Tom, you and I have heard all the time, and I'm glad that Ernie brought it up. And unfortunately, each generation, the quality of product out of Cuba is dipping a little bit. So the quality control is dropping. So people over the last, going on my 31st year smoking cigars, and people will say, are the best cigars, they're all Cuban, they're all Cuban. Like, man, I got to tell you, it's getting harder and harder.
No way.
The box of any Cubans and have the quality control where 3, 4, 7 aren't plugging on you. There's a draw issue. So it's not. These other countries in the last 20 years have really come to the front of the line, where you can get your tobaccos. I mean, just in Nicaragua, look at the different regions of Nicaragua. You have Esteli, Jalapa. You even have stuff from Ometepe. So every one of those regions is a different kind of tobacco. So that's where you really get to learn. And somebody like Ernie's been around for decades doing this kind of shit. He knows the profiles of each one of these countries. That's why he's able to know what he wants in his cigar. So again, start looking at that stuff. If you're new to this, wrapper, binder, filler, country of origin, and you're going to figure out what you start to enjoy. But definitely stick with something mild when you're first trying and digging in like a Connecticut.
Yeah, here's what I do now with wine. If there's a top 25 list, I forget about everything in the top 10. Throw it away. Garbage. Right. Don't need it. Get it out of here. Those people, for different reasons, influences or whatever. And listen, I got plenty of plaques in my office upstairs, top cigar aficionado, and I'm very happy about getting them. Don't get me wrong. I've been our cigar's been named there many, many times. We got rating people. Oh, I love you over there. No, they hate my ass. I'm pain in the ass. Told them screw up many times. Like, God damn, it is here. But I've noticed that there's probably stuff that they're kind of like can't put in the top area because there are so many little politics and marketing in this. Right. So there's stuff that I remember the first year, I'll give you an example, that they did the list. The Tatuaje was number 25. I didn't make it that year or whatever, but he was made in the same factory as mine in Miami. It was number 25. And that cigar was so much better, honestly. Maybe the open sacks or that shit, I know Phil Smallwood said. I'm not saying anything against it, but so much better what we were doing in Miami. With the tobacco back then from Aganorsa, with Ben Garcia or whatever. And then, things change, things get big, whatever. But at that time, and if you didn't know about cigars, you're like, oh, fuck it, this top 25's here. You would have been blown away because that profile was not really around, in the early 2000s. It was like, I don't know. It's like you got your Nokia touch phone, and I roll up with this freaking iPhone 12 or where the hell it is. You'd be like, what the hell? Oh, yeah, I can get my hands. It was that much of a game changer. And then we got our Miami in there. That was number 13, I believe. I can't believe I remember these things. Our 1932s was in there for some time. And then we're doing our Padilla Miami, still in Miami. El Titan de Bronce, amazing cigar, very small production. Not because it doesn't even make, any business sense, but we love it. I love that blend. Phil Smallowitz can attest to it. Mr. 20 cigars a day. He's like blown away with it. My factory our warehouse here, I asked them to send him a couple, like 1 or 2 boxes. They sent him 2 boxes the first time. The next time, they send him 4 free freaking boxes. Well, this is a thing where we only do 200 boxes every quarter, 10 count boxes, really rare. This mofo was smoking good. He said, you want me to send them back? I go, but no, he said,
you ain't lying. You ain't lying. When he farts, it smells like the inside of JR Cigar or something.
Oh, I bet. This guy's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. But you know what? There's people that in this industry, he's retired now. And it's so ironic, too, because the small brick and mortar retailers sometimes, a lot of them, I'm not saying every one of them, they're small, so they can only carry so many things. So by the time they catch up to a certain brand, sometimes it's reversed. And I remember getting, after my first trade show, 2003, I get a call from this guy. Hey, kid, how are you? It's
Lou Rothman.
Lou Rothman.
As soon as I hear that voice, yep.
I mean, I'm like, fuck, this guy sounded like, he was in The Godfather or something. What the hell's this? I heard this is the early 2000s, right? The internet was just making retailers kind of take a shit. It's like, this shit's not going to stick around. This combustion engine will not last. It's a fluke. You can't tell me. Look at my horse. They just fucking feed that thing and it goes. You got to like put a gas station and hook up to it. It'll never last, that internet. These kids these days, get out of here. But he had started as a retailer in New York City back then. Imagine that, with his wife Lavonda or something. Yeah, and this guy, I mean, this motherfucker's moving the most cigars in the world. This guy's the Pablo Escobar of cigars. He's just like, and what the fuck are you doing? I saw you had saw your stuff at the show. What are you doing? Well, Mr. Rothman, just have a little brand. It's like, yes, I saw that. It's very interesting. How many can you make? I'm like, I don't know if I can answer that.
Dude, that's a pretty good. Everybody out there, that's a really effing good Lou.
Yeah, and just like, and you don't know, because you're trying to get it to brick and mortar stores, and then like, you better not talk to that Lou Rothman, FBI shaking you down, looking at you, like the wedding in the beginning of The Godfather and shit, where you're trying to get along. You come to me on the damn way, it's The Godfather, you're like, you don't know what the fuck to do. We just got invited to the middle of this wedding. The feds are outside. Fucking Don Corleone's over here. You're over here trying to sell cigars, and you're like, holy shit, But that goes to show that some of the things in this industry, and then he just started going on the internet and started changing things, and now the world's changed a bit. Brick and mortar is still the soul, the heart, if you will, of the cigar industry, because cigars are more than just smoking them. They're having this interaction, social interaction, like the natives of Cuba did. And that's a big component of cigars, and that will always be there and always come back. But I think because there are limitations on what retailers can carry, how much, and things like that, that I think you're going to see more and more consumers and maybe brands even reaching out to touch the end consumer. And I think we all have to adapt. And I don't know if I'm the Elon Musk of this shit. I'm going to be starting a rocket company soon. But I'm just like, fuck it, man. I don't get it. I enjoy it. I enjoy hearing back from the end consumer, interacting with the end consumer. And not like I hate retailers or anything, but I really, that's my customer is not the brick and mortar retailer. My customer is the end consumer, whether I sell in a cigar store or not. That's what I need to bring to that retailer, and that's what I need to bring, and that's who I need to connect to, whoever it is, whatever brand you have. That's your customer. Your customer is not the retailer. Your customer is a person sitting down buying the cigars at that retail store, and they need to keep buying your cigars in that retail store. And that's who you need to make happy. Never forget the customer is that guy walking in, and the retailer will buy as long as it's there. Maybe someone won't buy or whatever. I mean, but that ability now today to even, while I sit here in a garage in the middle of Texas, communicate to all these people, that's it's really a game changer. So.
Yes, and I tell you, this is such an important conversation. I think you've really shared a lot of good insight, and we know that the customers and the end consumers of Padilla just so appreciate what you make there, Ernie. And thank you for sharing this with us. So many Padilla cigar fans have logged on tonight and have also shared this video. And I'll say once again, if you get a chance to share this video right now, Facebook, Twitter, hit that share button. We appreciate all of our fans and friends of hit that button of Cigar Saturday that keep coming back every Saturday night. We're so grateful for that. Matty, who's our guest next week?
Next week we have artist Mario Pena. We've talked about him before, and he will be on the show. He'll tell you a couple things that he's been working on lately, which are pretty fun stuff. Some things that he has coming out. He'll have some visual representation of what's coming out. So that's going to be fun. The week after that, we have somebody who Ernie knows very well, Mr. Willie Herrera.
Oh, Willie.
We have Big Willie, and then the week after, we have Federico, aka Furio, from The Sopranos.
Excellent.
Shit! Look at that.
For all these incredible guests, and we've had so much fun with Ernie tonight, and we do this thing every week, Ernie, where we have you. And I'm gonna go ahead as we wrap up here and put up again the website for PadillaCigars.com. Ernie, pick a number between 1 and 32.
A number between 1 and 32.
Yes.
17.
What was it again?
17.
17, and lucky 17 goes to, it's actually looks like a realty company from Louisiana. It's called Bourbon Realty. I don't know who that is, but they retweeted us on Twitter. Thank you for that, Bourbon Realty. You won that Janus Coffee Roasters bourbon barrel aged coffee, and we'll have Chad and I talk about our coffee at some point.
What's a Bourbon Realty? Is that like where you buy a house, you get some bourbon, you get drunk in the house? What happens?
think it's. I just looked them up here as they won. They were realtors from Louisiana, so it's maybe they just they follow bourbon blog. Maybe they like bourbon too, but they're called Bourbon Realty.
Yeah, they got a whole street named after fucking bourbon down there. They got that thing.
I like it. I like it, but
what's your favorite bourbon cocktail?
Favorite bourbon? Oh, it's I love a good old fashioned, of course. One we've been making a lot during the pandemic has been a revolver with coffee liqueur, a little bit of bitters, and usually we use a rye. But there's so many that I love. Do you have a favorite one?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, well, you mentioned it. Like I was kind of curious to see what else was out there.
So many good things. I mean, there's always riffs on Manhattans and old fashions I like. Of course, I like a good Sazerac with a good rye. And I just like, sipping it neat as well. But there's some good ones.
In Miami, when I was over there, there was that cocktail culture was really taking off. And there was a couple guys, and they're actually, these guys created a thing, and it's in New York. I think they did it in LA too. And at the time, it was a really cool little place in a hostel. In Miami Beach, and it became pretty big later on, and they've grown as Freehand.
Yeah.
So these guys, I got to know them before all this, and they like my buddy Chris. He was all like Mr. Hipster guy with the bike and the whole shit, and we work on stuff together. So as a hipster, but we go down there and we go look at the lovely ladies, young European ladies coming over there, and
that's the broken.
But they would make these smoking cocktails, that were just like, man, what the hell are you doing? Because it was just, you think it'd be a drink and like whatever, and they did some amazing stuff. I haven't been over there in a while, but
the Freehand hostel / hotel. They have the broken shaker.
The broken shaker, yes.
It's an amazing place, and they do have some cocktails that are just dynamite. I get to South Beach Wine and Food Festival every year to present, and always like to go to the Broken Shaker. And there's a Broken Shaker in LA as well that's amazing too.
Now it's all hipstered out, whatever. Well, I knew them when they were like broke and and he was hanging out. I think one of them actually, his wife's name is Padilla. Also, I remember her because she would stop by. Chris, my friend, was an artist, designer guy, and just like, come by, her boyfriend's place at the time, which was at the Broken Shaker, him and his partner at the time. And, that's probably, I remember having some.
I love those. Their cocktails are world. They actually have won, the one in Miami has won best cocktail bar a number of years. So they are world. So they do an amazing job, and we love what they do. They're so talented, and we love what you do, Ernie. You're very talented. Thank you for all you do for the world of cigars, and thanks for joining us, Ernie, on Cigar Saturday, and Maddie, and best wishes to our friends there at Sanja's, and thanks to all watching.
Buy some cigars. Go in there and tell Sanja needs more Padilla cigars in there. Just go in there with your whole thing and do that whole thing. It looks like you're in a recording studio. Amazing thing about these shops in New Jersey, which I've seen, is the utilization of space is amazing. Look at that. I want to see that.
Amazing place.
That's amazing. Because I'm here in Texas and they have these huge retail stores with walk-ins and whatever, but I look at that and I'm like, wow, look at that. Like how many, he's got probably a ton of facings just as big as probably some stores here, but it's so well put together.
There's 2 lounge rooms behind me. Then outside there's a covered canopy for probably about 250, 300 people.
Wow. What town is that again?
Bloomfield. When you come in, I'll grab you in Newark and we'll go.
Bloomfield. Is that close to where Michael Herklotz live, or that's not?
Dude,
No.
Klotz lives over from me. I live in Glen Rock. He lives in Ridgewood.
Ridgewood. That's where all the super rich people live.
It can't be dude there. Trust me. It's got some cash.
And you're gonna have the guy from The Sopranos on there. I mean, I met that whole crew at a dinner, including Gandolfini. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
That's a good show. When is that?
That's going to be. I think that's
2 or 3 weeks from now.
Really, then the last Saturday in January.
Last Saturday in January. Sopranos. So,
Awesome.
guys,
Well,
thanks. Thanks, Ernie. Thanks, Maddie. And cheers to everyone watching on Bourbon Belongs Cigar Saturday. Thank you all.
Thank
You
you.
ladies and gents.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Thanks. All right.